welcome to the show. We have a great edition of Bring It in the House podcast show where we spotlight musicians, entertainers, artists, and leaders. Get your meal. We have a great meal for you tonight. I'm so honored to have my guests here tonight. They are Marvel native community leaders. Let's give it up for Duran Ford, Johnny Gage, and Rodney Bearfield. All right. Thank you, guys. So good to have you here. I mean, I usually open up the show with letting the guests tell us where they're from and their alma mater and all of that. But we don't have to do this because we know you guys are from Marvel. We got that part. So, hey, we're going to start off, just on the topic of voter registration. That's a big thing. And you all are here to impress upon the citizens of Marvel the urgency of voter registration. So, going to let each of you kind of tell us a little bit about your current roles, starting with Johnny.
Okay, first of all, we definitely want to get everybody registered to vote. That's coming up in July. Of course, I am the founder, CEO of Marvel Community Empowerment Incorporated, and we have partnered up with Rock the Vote. They will be out there on that Saturday signing people up to vote. So we just want to encourage the citizens. If you want change, it starts with voting. And so we want to definitely encourage them to vote.
All right. Go ahead, Rodney. You can take it from there.
All right, to piggyback on what Johnny said, we appreciate you for using your platform to let us inspire, motivate, and educate our fellow colleagues and community people in Marvel. I am willing to do my part as far as resources, education, and motivation. So Duran and I, we've worked with several different agencies here in Little Rock and around the state. And Johnny and I, we've always had a relationship to where we could brainstorm and try to motivate people to do above and beyond of their normal capabilities.
Awesome. Duran?
Thank you, Mildred. Thank you for having us today on your podcast. I'm present to support Johnny and Rodney in this entire endeavor of voter registration and just in pouring upon the people of Marvel and constituents the importance of voting and becoming registered voters so that hopefully they can vote someone into office who looks like them and who also will represent their interests and concerns within Marvel so that we can grow Marvel beyond where it is. So that's my participation.
All right. So just share with us, we kind of did already kind of answer this question, but just for those who are just tuning in, let them know why voter registration, especially, and why it's so important to the residents in Marble, Arkansas at this time. I'll let either one of you take that. Go ahead, Johnny.
Okay. Because of the fact that it is so important, when you see things how they are happening now in the city of Marvel, we definitely need change. And so it is important for people to come up and vote, get registered to vote. And we're going to even do our part as far as if people don't have a ride to the voting polls, we're going to set it up to, we're going to come pick you up. If you don't have a ride, I'll be posting that later that they can call me and we're going to set it up to come and bring the elders and everything to the polls. That's just how important it is to us this year.
That's amazing. I never known, Marvel to have ride shares and things available to get to the polls. So that's really great. And that was going to be one of my next questions. Like, what are some of the biggest challenges when it's, that's preventing eligible residents in Marvel, from registering? What's keeping them or holding them? And transportation could be one of those challenges. So that's really good to know that, you have that available. Here's a question for Rand. How does low voter registration affect the community's ability to influence decisions about education, healthcare, infrastructure, and economic development? What's your take on that, Duran?
Thank you for asking me that question. I have actually worn those hats from economic development, workforce development, community development. low voter turnout has a big impact in those subcategories or arena because, in essence, what happened when you don't go out to vote, you're allowing someone who may be of an opposite race or who has an opposite interest of yours to be entrusted to an office and voted by others who may not support the concerns or address the issues that you have. In particular, I have done some research and my history of in Marvel or being born there. To my knowledge, Marvel has never had an African American male or African American period to be the mayor. So with that, with having all whites who have served that role, when the largest population of Marvel ever has been more African Americans, it's sad that you have fewer Caucasians in the city, but we've never had an African American elected, and some of those Caucasians don't address the issues or concerns that are relevant to our community, our wards, clean streets, jobs, opportunities, things like that. So,
Okay, that's interesting, Rand. Thank you for that.
sure.
Rodney, what do you think are some of the misconceptions? What do you hear from people who choose not to register or participate in elections?
I think the biggest issue is education, and that's what was one of my main concerns when you first came on the air. And my thing is, I want to look not only at this election, but future elections. And guys that has been caught up, or women that have been caught up in the system, and they may be a felon, so they've been told that, hey, by law you cannot vote. That's not always the case. So
Right.
depending on the situation, I would love to educate those people on, hey, you got an F on your report card. That's not a doom and gloom sentence. If you educate yourself, go through the proper channels, you too can have a voice in the next election and how the city is run.
And Mildred, if I could piggyback on what Rodney said, I want to kind of dive in a little deeper. So, under the Arkansas Constitution Amendment 51, a convicted felon who has completed his or her prison sentence, probation, fine fee, whatever your punishment was for your felonious offense, if you have completed that, you can become a registered voter in the state of Arkansas. Now, it's important that if you want to vote in any election, you need to at least register 30 days before that election, whether it's the primaries or the general, at least be registered 30 days before. So if a person's a convicted felon, what they would do is fill out a new voter registration card and attach a copy of the disposition or whatever shows that they have completed their punishment for that crime. That then is submitted to where you send your other voter registration cards at, you now become a registered voter. Just that simple.
Oh, that's great. So, how can local churches, civic organizations, or community leaders help increase voter registration in Marvel? Johnny, what's your take on that?
My take on that, if they would just speak on it, one thing I've learned about in a small community, I hate to use the word afraid to speak up about certain issues that we have, but we got to get our pastors, our community leaders, to really be truthful with the constituents of Marvel, to convince them to vote. Because as we all know, a lot of our people are going to listen to their pastors. And so we encouraged our pastors to uplift the community and convince them to go register to vote. That would be a great help for the people to get out.
That's great. We had some people to chime in the. Okay, there's Marcella Town Winston. She's in the chat, and she's saying hello to everyone. And she see that
Hello.
Marcella. She said, "I see that it's not enough noise made to let the people understand the importance of voting and their rights. Thanks for doing this to educate and inform every vote that counts." Thank you, Marcella. Thank you for doing that. Yeah. Anyone else out, the viewers, if you guys want to chime in at this time, you can. We appreciate your comments and your feedback. Hi, Tammy. There's Tammy Cox. Hello, everyone. Thank you. She said hello. Yeah. So, this is a question for either one of you guys. Do you feel that Marvel is a dying city? Is there hope or do you feel that you can revive it? There is possible restoration.
Let me address that, Mildred, and if the other guys are okay for me to address that. In any city, whether it's large or small, the key component are a few things from economic development, workforce development, community development, and crime. All of us know, as well as everyone who's on the panel here and those who are chimed in, they know that Marble has lost several jobs, several employers. When there are few employers, people are going to move to those other places. If there are no residents within that area, companies are not going to move to the smaller communities in which to set up shop for several reasons. It could be healthcare disparities, it could be criminal issues, concerns, it can be a lack of education, which the workforce may need remediation. So there's several things that employers look at when they consider bringing jobs here to our state and to certain cities. But while I say Marble is a dying community, I would not say that Marble is a dying community, although I have the stats in terms of the population that's there. But I will say that if the citizens of Marble do not take a different approach, and it's starting with voting to vote people in who have their best interests, and to also make sure that our children and the young teens are serious about their education so that we can retain the schools and increase our education numbers in that area, Marble will be in trouble, in my opinion.
I agree.
Mhm.
Anyone else want to comment on that, Rodney or Johnny?
Yes, I want to add to that what Duran was saying. A lot of people as well, until something really happened, we don't really act. And Rodney and Duran, we can all contest to this, that we've seen some of the things as far as unfair practices that is going on in the city of Marble. We have been there with some of the city council meetings, and the way it was done, it was just so unfair to us. And so we seen where we need this change, and so that's why we're coming to the constituents of Marble to help us with this, because if you're not happy with the way it is now, then voting will help us to get this change. And later on, I'm going to give them a little time to talk, and then I'm going to come back and just say some of the things that we experienced at the city council meeting, that why we feel like it needs to be a change. We're not asking for favor, we're asking for fairness.
I agree with both of those comments. And I would just like to say that I would use my platform. My wife and I, we own a business there. If we need to open up our doors to encourage, use it as an incentive, come out, free food, festivities, fun for the kids, to encourage people to come out. We all know that there is strength in numbers. So if we bombard the city and educate everybody, I think that'll be a real big surprise for what's up ahead.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
That's good stuff.
Mhm.
What resources are available to kind of help the residents, when it comes to registering and voting and as far as what do they need? What assistance do you guys think they need? And I know you mentioned the transportation, Johnny, but is there anything else that you guys can think of?
Well, Mildred, if I can respond to that, I think what's needed more so than anything is an active intent, being intentional about doing it. And when we're intentional about doing something, we find a way to do it. Transportation could be a barrier for some, so we can solve that. But as far as access and things available, what should take place is that the school should be offering voter registration cards to those seniors or those rising seniors who are turning 18. The churches should be doing it, the library, and just those interested individuals within the city who are leaders or who want to see change. I can bring down a stack of voter registration cards Monday, but it takes somebody being intentional to fill it out and get it back to the right place, or to the right person who can get it to the right place so that they can vote in this upcoming election. I think November 3rd, if I'm not mistaken. My understanding, Deborah Scaife may be running, or she is running for Marvel mayor. She's an educator there in Marvel. I think the current sitting mayor is running again. And to piggyback, I think Johnny wanted to address concerns that we went through in September of 2024, where several tickets were written to the Black citizens who lived there and those who came to visit. We were harassed by the police. Fortunately, I was able to have all the tickets thrown out through the court. But with that, it prompted Rodney, myself, and Johnny to continuously come down to Marvel after the event to sit into city council meetings September, October, November. And for those who were present at the meeting, we were not shown the respect that we should have been shown. The mayor was disrespectful, in my opinion. And some of the people that we've always looked up to who sit on that board, in our opinion, didn't voice their concerns or address the issues that they should have. Many of them just sat dormant. And that was rather disappointing to us. So it's important to vote people like that out and vote new people in, whether that's your city council member, whether that's your mayor. Marvel has 3 wards. Most people don't know that. In those 3 wards, there are 2 positions in each ward. So with that, for those who are interested in running for city council, it's time to do it and go and serve on those boards, so you can hold your mayor accountable, get a new chief of police who will not allow his officers to harass people who are trying to come there and generate resources in that community.
We have a few comments here.
Sure.
Marcella is saying regarding taking an active role. She said there's still a chance for the city of Marvel if we take on an active role in the city. And she asked, so who is out rounding up the ones that need to be registered? That was her question.
Well, once again, we are going to have Rock the Vote. We are partnered up with them. So on September the 5th, at the event, they will be out there registering everyone on the spot. And so we're going to encourage everyone to come out and register then for sure to get ready to vote in November.
John, I'm not familiar with Rock the Vote. Give me some background on
well, they are a nonprofit organization that we are partnered up with to come out there to just do all the registration to everyone that needs. You know, if you're out of high school and you want to register, they just register the people that's eligible to register.
Okay. Good deal.
That's real good. Now, Tamika Young Morrow, she says that we need to target the younger people. She said, I don't think they know how important this election is. So that's her take on that. She said,
I agree.
All need to go. All need to go.
Yeah.
Marcella said, awesome, Johnny. Definitely needed. Deborah Scaife is here. All right,
Yes.
Deborah.
All right. Miss Deborah. Yes. Awesome. Yes. If I can, I want to share with you some of the things that we experienced, just a couple of them. Of course, you know, we do our event every year. And of course, we have to go through the mayor and the city council for permission, because anytime you're going to block off a street, you got to have permission. And so every time that we ask for permission for this event, we have to go through so many ropes to get an answer. And I'm going to just show you the fairness that we're talking about. The other event that's held there, I think it's called the LeBron Hams Day. We was there at a meeting when the young lady that was, I guess she's the one that organizes the LeBron Ham. She comes in, she asks for permission to do that event. They voted on it right then and there and gave her answer. Okay, you can have it. But with us, with the event that we're doing, it's always a pause. You know, well, we got to go through this. We're going to put y'all on the agenda on next month. You know, and that's what we're saying about fairness. You know, we got to have fairness about everything. But matter of fact, we reached out to the mayor in March about the event coming up this year. You know when we heard back from them? this month after we had said that we was going to use the school, and then we heard from them, which is total unfair to me. Unfair practice.
Well, that's no surprise there. You know, I had encounters with the mayor. I've gone to court once a month, and again, it's strength in numbers. So when you go to court on a regular court day, the courtroom is full. And then the plea contest, the plea process. When they go up, no matter what the charge, whether it being a traffic violation or a city ordinance violation, most of the people inside the courtroom are the same color as we are, and they just are trained. They are persuaded to say, hey, I'm guilty. So my point is, the law says you are innocent until proven guilty, but they don't have that concept, and that gives me, I guess they have no hope. So my thing is, I'm not a hell raiser, but I am a debater. So if I'm gonna go down, I want to go down fighting. So when you go to the courtroom is full. When you go across the street to the city council meeting, the city council meeting is empty.
It's empty.
There's a problem with that.
Yes.
Yeah. It is a big problem. Rodney, if I can piggyback on that, I think also it's incumbent upon the individuals in Marble, those who look like us, to become active and engaged if they want to see our city grow. If we don't get behind those people who are interested in trying to do that, it's clearly the current mayor, in my opinion, is not working in the best interest of those who look like us or those wards in which we live. I don't see that concerns as far as dilapidated homes and potholes and overgrown vegetation. I don't see those concerns being addressed in the minority side of Marble. And so to me, I think it's important to get behind someone who's interested in running for that position as mayor, and also who's also willing to get behind and support those individuals who are running to become ward members or city council members, aldermen, whatever title you want to give them. If I can give someone a little civic, those individuals who are elected and who's been entrusted to the position by the citizens of Marble, they work for you. You do not work for them. The mayor works for the city of Marble, or the constituents of Marble. Anyone who's elected to a post works for the constituents. So you shouldn't have to deal with blighted properties, holes in the road, and different things like that. If there are the resources there to cover it up and fix it, have your city council member to keep your ward up. Hold the mayor accountable, because these resources are going over to the white side of Marble, which is Ward 1. So that's why it's important for our people to get out and vote and elect someone into those roles that's going to look out for their best interests.
And I see a comment from Deborah Scaife in the comment section. She said, I really think it is safer on the school grounds. This is a situation that will be addressed later.
Mm-hmm.
And then we got a lot of people coming in here. Marcella said, she said, I was told they don't announce the meeting, which is supposed to be public. That's just chiming in.
The meeting is public, and it's generally around the same time every month. And so we can get that information out there in terms of those who are interested in going. We would just love to see them be there, and we too would come and support and be there with them.
What do you guys, I'll just, either one can take this question. What do you guys think it would take to get more like corporations to kind of move to the Marble area, to bring in jobs?
That's a tough question right there. Because the city is declining and the school choice is another issue. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm kind of afraid for our school, not because they're doing good academically.
Yes.
It's just our numbers are falling so bad. And so if that school goes, it's going to be tough for our community. I mean, it really is.
It is.
Mm.
But Mildred, to piggyback on that question or to address it, typically when companies are considering moving to a county, city, or state, they look at several things, as I mentioned earlier, the community. What's the education level like? Those individuals whom we employ, will they have to be remediated? What are the healthcare disparities in those communities? Will individuals have to continuously be off for sick-related issues? Are we having people in their 40s and 50s having strokes and hypertension and heart attacks and all that? So it becomes a cost-effective concern for those prospective employers, as well as what is the criminal rate, the crime rate within the community. So jobs are very less likely to come there and set shop up in Marlboro or Phillips County if you're having to remediate individuals in order to get them up to a skill level to be able to work in their factories. Or if everyone is sick with hypertension, cholesterol, diabetes, whatever, so it can become a cost concern for those employers. But nonetheless, it's still important for individuals to do their part so that there is hope and we can hold on to those jobs that are there.
That's good. That's good. And I was just thinking maybe like some clinics, if they could get like a clinic or
Right.
two, or things like that that we need, because you have to drive all the way to what, Helena, West Helena, to get to
West
the
Helena,
hospital.
yes.
Well, prayer always works, so we just got to pray.
Yes, definitely,
Yeah.
definitely. And man, if we can just get everybody out to register, and I think this is a good time for a change to come. Not only, I think it'll be history in the making, because it's right. I think that was the Rand said earlier. We've never had an African American mayor in the city of Marlboro, not to my knowledge. And so I think it'll just be great to bring about change, and not only just a change to because of race, but just a change period because of the current administration, how it is being ran now. So not so much necessarily it's a color thing, it's just we need somebody who can do the job
Fresh
right.
ideas to come in. Yeah.
Right, absolutely.
I agree. I want to commend you, Rodney, on your event that you've been doing. That's amazing. The Marvel Community Festival coming back. Where are you from? I just wanted to say,
Well, actually, that's Johnny. That's Johnny's event.
Johnny, that's what I meant. What did I
Okay.
say?
It's Rodney.
Right now, I think she started talking about your business in Johnny's event.
Okay.
Sorry about that. But
It's all
Johnny,
right.
I want to commend you on your annual efforts. This is great. I'm going to get my T-shirt. I may not make the event, but I definitely am going to support. And Rodney, congratulations to you guys on your business as well.
Thank you.
Rand is always pitching in to do what he can.
Yeah.
You guys are awesome. Thank you so much for coming on the show. This is history in the making. It really is.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us.
Millie, if I can say one thing before we close out, I would want to implore upon those citizens or constituents in Marlboro that it doesn't matter your age. You can be 75 or 80, your vote still count and it's still relevant. You can be 18 or 20, your vote still count and it's relevant. Let's get together and let's effect change for the hometown that we love.
Now your sister just chimed in. Vet, she says, how can someone who is no longer a resident help? We can't vote. She's saying that all of us here, we can't vote. I'm sure we can attend the city council meeting, but we can't get on the agenda unless we have a business, a plan to have a business, or be a citizen, right?
In
I
part,
have two
no.
words:
Go ahead, Rodney.
motivate and educate. If you can't vote, just motivate someone to vote and educate them how to vote.
Right. And I will say that anyone can get on the city council meeting. Just bring it up to them prior to. That way they can put it on the agenda for the next month's upcoming meeting. But anyone in the world can get on it. But you don't have to be a citizen of Marlboro or Arkansas. But we definitely want those individuals in Marlboro to become more active. And let's take a stand, and we're here to help.
And that's actually to be heard, not to attend. So you can attend, you don't have to make prior arrangements.
Yes.
But if you want to be heard, then you have to call ahead of time.
Yes.
Tamika Young Morrow. She said we have a clinic. She corrected me. Thank you, Tamika. She said, you guys, there is a clinic in Marvel. I wasn't aware for sure, so thank you.
Okay.
And your sister said, that's my baby brother. I love him.
Hello, big sis.
Yeah, I want to give a quick shout out. Last weekend I was in Atlanta, Georgia for the Radio and Records Awards. So I just want to say thank you to Debbie Ireland and her staff for inviting me out. So I just wanted to share a few pictures on some of the, those guys, the Buckhead Boys, they were on my show earlier in the year. And here is Miss Kathy K. Smiles, and she's written a lot of stage plays, and she just received the proclamation award, recognition from the city of Atlanta. So I just kind of wanted to give a quick shout out to them. Also shout out to my grandbabies.
Yay.
Maya and Adrian. He's 3 months now. Time is just
Congratulations.
Beautiful.
Congratulations. Yes.
Thank you. Maya is 4, so yeah, we definitely want to keep the community growing, and you guys just keep doing what you're doing. Your hard work is not unnoticed. So any last words of encouragement or anything you guys want to throw in before we wrap up?
Well, I want to, sorry, Jen, I just want to say, Mildred, thank you for having us, and also thank you for continuing the spirit of being on the air. We do remember you being on Delta Force in Helena, as well as over in Memphis back in the day when we were on the air, so we still see you're doing it, and thank you for having us.
Well, thank you, Rand. I'm supposed to be joining Memphis again.
Let's do it.
Yeah, sometime later this month or sometime in September, but I don't have to move there. It'll be like, voice track, but
Great.
I will be heard in the Memphis market again. So I want to give a shout out to Tina Tilton, my sorority sister, for thinking of me as one of the pioneers that she's bringing back. I think it's 4 of us that she's bringing back on the air. So thank you, Tina.
Congratulations.
Thank you, guys. Anything else, guys?
I just want to tell everyone to please come out and register September the 5th. Come out and register to vote. Let's do this. Time for a change has come.
Yes.
I agree 100%. And again, I'll be willing to use my facilities to give out treats, feed people, fun and games. So we'll make it a family event.
And anything I can do, I'm on board.
On board.
All
That's
right.
great. Marcella says, okay, let's go. Boots on the ground. Where's the button? The wristbands, the T-shirts. Let's get Mayor Deborah Scape in.
Absolutely.
So let's get her name out there for the next mayor. Okay.
Yes. And we hope she's going to be there so she can speak to them on September the 5th.
On the 5th, yes.
Yes.
Deborah, if you're listening, please be out there so you can speak to the citizens of Marvel. So that's going to wrap it up, guys. Once again, thank you so much for joining us, and we'll see you back here next time on